This is Enter the Rift, and I'm the unicorn. This is the Dirgy SilverDirge. Say hi.
Hello.
So now this game we have for you, after seeing the dominance that CTX had over Gangstars, we have actually from the Chill of the Rift tournament we had a while ago. These are two teams that are actually here again. On blue we have Anthrax, and purple we have Nestea. I think Nestea got like third, I think.
Yep.
Nestea got third. Yeah. So Nestea at third. So right now we see opening bans of Yorick, Morgana, Cassio, and Rammus. Surprised someone's actually banning Yorick. Don't see a lot of Yorick players. Again, I don't know why people are banning Vayne. It's such a waste. There's no point. Someone first picks Vayne, you just hard counter. It's so easy to beat Vayne in lane, as long as you just don't like throw it away. But anyways, and then the Shen ban coming out as well. So heroes up still right now. We see like Shaco's are still up, and there's really strong junglers of like Lisa and Udyr or Shyvana are still up. I don't know if anyone actually plays Shaco here today. So that's one thing. I don't know if anyone actually plays Shaco. So Yorick ban, Cassio and Morg are two overall very strong heroes. I actually wrote about this for ESFI World. That these are like 2 out of the 4 just the standard APs that they give you all around. They can build tanky, they do tons of damage even if behind. They're just so good with like utility and everything. So actually we never saw any Cassio players the last time. I don't even know if there's any Cassio players here this time. Hero's tricky. I don't see, it's not huge in lower levels, but we do see. So Soraka first pick is interesting enough. Here we see Nestea actually picking Shyvana and Sona. Nestea actually last time always kept first picking Sona whenever they could, if I recall correctly. Shyvana also a very strong jungler. It's just so, she has fast clear times right now, and her counter jungling is actually just very strong. Actually, when she hits 6, it's actually very slippery too, because then you have Dragon Form to actually just hop away out of stuff. So right now we also see, so Ashe, Maokai. So the bot lane that they have is going to be Ashe, Soraka. The big issue with this is very, very low damage lane. And this is very easily bullied by, say, a Graves that constantly shoves, or a Corki that pushes all the time. So actually what we do see right now is so far they've picked GP and Caitlyn. And the Kate Sona lane will actually fare quite well against this, as they can constantly just keep poking away at it. And it's very hard for Ashe Soraka to do anything. It's a very farm, it's a lane that just basically focuses on farming right now. And so what you do with these kinds of lanes is you do just shove and you force them to last it under turret. You keep chipping away, and eventually maybe they either back, or you can set up for junglers to come in and just dive on the tower, depending on who it is.
And with that, I guess the Caitlyn Sona, like, do you think Ashe, given the farm, will be able to dominate Caitlyn late game, or do they both have kind of an equal?
Both of these champions are actually very low damage late compared to all the other ADs. Ashe does actually pick up with utility though, because again, Arrow is the best initiation in the entire game. Nothing else has a global like that that's champion only and it can stun for that long. Alright, so right now we actually do see Nestea locking Gangplank and Caitlyn's, right? So the Caitlyn Sona lane will have dominance very early, and they can actually keep doing that as long as they keep it up and keep pressure on bot lane. As long as they ward up, shouldn't have too much problems right now. So what we do see now is Anthrax currently selecting Fiora Ahri. So we will see how this pans out for now.
It's a Fiora top lane, Ahri in mid. You mentioned earlier before, I guess before the game started, that you really don't like Fiora.
I don't like Fiora. Fiora is so easy to beat as long as you just have sustain. So currently locking in, they do have Ahri, Fiora. So they actually do have strong initiation on this team right now with Arrow, Twisted Advance, and Charm. As long as they can pick one person off, it's very easy to burst down someone. Depending again on how the game goes, but that's their real strength. The team fight strength, there's not a whole lot of synergy. It's actually very low damage if anyone gets behind. Especially, you know, the Shyvana GP, as long as they have armor, it's very hard for Fiora to do much damage. So right now, Anthrax is actually sitting on a pretty low damage team. So Sion actually currently selected as this last pick. Don't see a lot of Sion anymore. What Nestea actually could do is if they do have a Rise player, their team comp would actually just be vastly superior. The tankiness would be very hard for any of them to get in. So they do select Sion. So don't see a lot of that nowadays. Sion actually currently is teleport, so we might see top AP Sion with GP mid, depending on how they decide to go with this right now. So as the countdown comes down, we are just going to see. So not too sure how these lanes are going to fare. If this teleport, I mean, you could take teleport middle. You don't have to take, you know, the ignite flash that most people play. So we will see what those lanes will be. But yeah, going back to Fiora, the greatest weakness she has is she has no way to deal with anything that has sustain. It's basically literally impossible. Like you sit like, say you pick like Warwick for instance, and you just go Warwick top against Fiora. There's no way for Fiora to ever kill Warwick unless she gets a gank. It's just too hard. You can't trade with it. Or she's just, I just don't think she's strong enough to really hold her own as a top champion still. And there's still better things out. Like Lee Sin will crush Fiora, Malphite crushes Fiora, Warwick crushes Fiora.
And she doesn't fare very well in the jungle either.
Oh, her jungle is even worse. So right now we are going to hit this 3-minute delay period. So right now we're going to go back to Josh. He gives you guys some very interesting commercials.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, you guys right now are watching the Enter the Rift tournament right here from Overclock Gaming. Be sure to follow them online, twitter.com/okgaming, facebook.com/overclockedcomputers. That link on the screen right now is actually incorrect. Need to get that graphic updated. All the VODs will be uploaded to youtube.com/overclockededmonton, and you can watch the stream live as well as find out some more events and information about the venue itself at www.overclocked.com. Today we're going to be doing a $10 RP giveaway both today and tomorrow. It is a 2-day event, so get on Twitter, use hashtag ETRYEG, and be sure to follow Edmonton or OK Gaming. And at the end of the day, or towards the end of the day, we'll look at all the people who have tweeted with those hashtags, and we will DM them a nice $10 RP card. So be sure to get on that. Also, throughout the day, you'll have the chance to get your tweet spotlighted on the stream for everybody to see. It's kind of a cool thing for us to do to keep in touch with the community. Also, coming up soon next week, we're going to have Overkill 2 right here at Overclock Gaming and Computers, and that's going to be a ton of, I should say next week, but the weekend after. It's going to be a FPS tournament featuring Counter-Strike 1.6, Call of Duty, Modern Warfare 3, and Halo Reach on the Xbox 360. Of course, Counter-Strike 1.6 being on the PC. Don't forget to get on Twitter as well when you use that same hashtag, ETRYEG. And if you're following OK Gaming as well as Oodle_Noodle, you'll get the chance to win a free meal from Oodle Noodle. This is, of course, only valid to people who are local to Edmonton. We'll give them your name, and then you can go into the store and pick up your meal whenever you want. So be sure to get on Twitter and tweet all about that. Thursday nights at Overclock Gaming and Computers are, of course, League of Legends night. $10 for members, $15 for non-members. Come down from 6 to 10 p.m., meet some people, level up your game, and just have a fun time overall. So be sure to come on down for that. This event is being hosted not only by Overclocked, but also Edmonton Gamers. Be sure to follow them online at www.edmontongamers.com as well as their various social media outlets. And we're going to quickly cut to a commercial from one of our fine sponsors, Gamer Grub, and then we're going to get back into the game.
Oh man, jacked again. Oh, hello.
And we are back as we head into the game right now. My name is Yuhn, and I'm joined by SilverDirge. What's a dirge?
What's a dirge?
What's a dirge?
A dirge is a lamenting song usually played at funerals, something like that.
What's a dirge?
What's a dirge?
I'm kidding.
It's a song.
I kid you.
It's a type of song.
So now we are going to
Yay.
load in right now. We do have Anthrax on blue side and Nestea on purple. Loading in right now. So lineups in terms of right now. So bottom lane for Anthrax is going to be Ash Soraka against a Kate Sona. Again, Ash Soraka it's very low damage. It's easily bullied, especially with Caitlyn range and the Sona harass. They can basically just have heavy wards, make sure cupcakes are set up well, and it's going to be very hard for them to be... it's hard for them to gank, and it's hard for Ash Soraka to actually do much against it.
And again, for the record / the audience, we've got Team Anthrax in the bottom left corner on blue side, and we've got Team Nestea on the top right as purple.
Welcome to Summoner's Rift.
Alright, so right now, for the rest of the matchups, we have Shyvana against Maokai. The interesting thing with this too is Shyvana actually can counter jungle pretty well against this, especially on the red side when Maokai has to rely more on the Ahri and the Ash Soraka, because both are very low damage early. It's actually very easy for Shyvana to run in there, steal things, and get out, especially because her lanes are a bit stronger earlier. So that's one thing he has to worry about, especially because of Shyvana's speed and how fast she can actually clear through this. Actually, Shyvana actually going cloth armor, so it might be slower. A lot of players, actually, more high-level players, I guess, to say, do start a lot of boot Shyvana, and they just run through as quick as they can and clear and just get out. So it is very slippery. So, as terms of these lanes, it looks like GP, they're going to play Gangplank middle against Ahri, and they're actually going to sit Psy on top against Fiora.
Minions have spawned.
So GP's early levels are very strong. He's actually probably one of, if not the strongest level 1 hero because of Parlay. So we do see Shyvana actually going to start with this red. GP actually so GP boots with Sion boots as well. As well as we are going to see, actually this blue start on Maokai is actually going to be very delayed right now, as he is going to do the Wraith setup that a lot of players do with Maokai. There it is, finally pulling the blues. RA is going to head mid now. So yeah, we are going to see GP against RA. GP is actually very strong against RA early, as long as he just gets parlay and doesn't allow the RA to trade with him. I've never really seen a Fiora against a Sion top. The shield could be popped pretty easily with the damage that Fiora gets for free out of her riposte. I know it's not pronounced riposte, it's something else, but anyways. So this lane probably Sion can also just shove as well, and so while he doesn't have sustain, this actually might be a lane that she will be able to kill due to Sion actually not having sustain, except for, well, when he gets his ult. But if this is, I think he's an AP Sion.
Oh, yeah, we are seeing the boots 3-pot, so I guess it depends on how he decides to build that. Would expect to see AP since we don't have anybody else on Nestea right now that's clearly AP besides Sona, for example.
I'm trying to figure out how to look at his stats again because I don't remember.
Click on him.
No, like the big stat thing that you have in your game.
Click on him and then press C.
There it is. See?
Yeah.
It's good. I know. Everyone else knows that and I don't. So, AP 7. Well, it doesn't show me his bonus stats. Anyways. So if that is an AP Sion, it is going to be... Actually, there's a big trade top between Samuel and the Sion. Not quite. Both of them getting fairly low right now. We do see pings coming off. And actually, the Shyvana is going to hand over blue to GP. And what GP can do now is basically spam. There's actually the charm. His Foxfire going down as well as that orb. Going to be hitting some big damage on GP. And this is actually going to allow him to spam parlay, spam his fruit, and keep himself in lane right now. As Leslie is just going to push right now. Interesting enough, we haven't seen this bot lane do a whole lot out of this Caitlyn yet so far. So right now we are just seeing CS, basically even right now across boards right now. I'm more interested in this top lane matchup with Fiora Sion actually because, again, Sion doesn't have sustain, so actually it is possible for Fiora to actually kill this lane. Actually, we do see both junglers actually coming top right now. I think the Maokai actually left the bush quick. Here he comes. He's throwing the sapling in. There's the dive onto him. There's the flash with the twisted advance and the stun coming down. Big damage coming down. This Maokai is actually very low right now. Oh, I don't know why they're sticking to this Fiora when there's a double buff Maokai right there. Go for the Maokai. Instead, they actually are going to let him go. There's the arcane smash, and he's actually going to get away. They actually threw that quite a way. That was a free first blood as well as double buffs. And they switched the focus from this double buff Maokai to the Fiora. That's a blunder on... that's a Nestea blunder at hole. So our Maokai lucky enough to get out. We do see now middle actually now is actually doing a lot of work. Hubix is doing quite a bit of work with his blue buff on Ari right now. Again, his mana is just going to be held up as well. As well as he's just going to be spamming parlays down.
Back in bottom lane, nothing but a farm fest right now. They're even in CS and not a whole lot going down in that bottom lane. Top lane, still kind of the lane to watch there. Samuel did back up there, did pick up boots and a ward or so. Yeah, it looks like Scion will go back for some items now as well.
And actually, one thing to also keep in note is that Scion actually has teleport, as well as Fiora has an ignite. So she actually has quite a heavy kill potential over the Scion in terms of just having ignite, but Scion is going to have a bit more map presence with teleport. He is going to teleport in back to this top lane, just pick up farm. And so he is going to be an AP, so again, it is just going to come down to who can mechanically play better in this matchup. Top or bot, I'm still surprised that this Caitlyn really isn't doing much with the Sona, to be honest. And the Sona is actually skilling towards the W, so this actually won't be an aggressive lane bot. So what the mistake here is Nestea is letting a very passive farming lane have dominance over them right now. Which is actually going to make it a lot easier. Not quite sure I understand it, but we'll see how this progresses. As we do see Shyvana now heading into blue side's red jungle right now, as Maokai just actually cleared his whole bottom jungle. Instead, it actually looks like Shyvana's going to be going for this gank bottom. And here he comes through the tri-bush. There is no vision right now. They are going to start going on this right now. There's the Sona E onto the Ashe right now. Is Ashe going to get away? There's the armor buff. And there's the Q hitting the Ashe. Ashe actually not blowing any summoner spell. The heal and the flash was still there. He didn't choose to use those. And the first blood going to be picked up by this Caitlyn there.
And well played. Scion did actually just go back for a second Doran's. And Ari returning to lane also with double Doran's. So identical items from there. And Sona putting down that pink ward, clearing the vision, or what little vision that Anthrax had in bottom lane.
Yeah, no vision yet bottom. I'm still surprised that kill actually came down on the Ashe there. two cards to get out. It's not even that it was a lucky Q. She had two ways to get out. She could have either flashed the Q or just used heal, but she didn't do either or. Instead, now we might actually see the dominance that you usually would see in this sort of lane actually start to unfold once Caitlyn actually buys and takes the 2,000 gold that she has and starts to have an advantage over this Ashe. So we go actually Maokai coming up top right now, trying to get this Scion. Not quite in range of Twisted Advance, so he's just going to back off right now. Scion actually has a ward, hasn't placed it yet right now. Shyvana, we do see just clearing the jungle again right now. GP actually rushed Sheen, interesting. Generally you will see like Philo Stone or Wriggles. Instead decides to go for the Sheen. Looking more for this. He's going to look to trade more with Sheen because of it. And so right now we are going to see the blue being handed off to Ari right now. Ari going to be able to actually shove lanes pretty hard. She is skilling into Q. You see some Aris either skill Orb or Foxfires. And Foxfire is more for that kind of assassination. Or if they play very close up, and Q is more to shove lanes and it's poke. So with that, she can actually shove the lane heavily as opposed to actually throwing out a Q, hitting the GP there. Not bad as GP actually answers back, throwing out the Sheen proc on Parlay. So actually bottom we do see Caitlyn actually went for... Caitlyn and Ashe are actually pretty uneven, and Caitlyn right now has a BF sword, so has a huge damage, has a huge advantage over Ashe in terms of damage right now. I would like to see this Sona transition more to leveling Q than W and start to actually, poke and try and put pressure on this. We do see actually Shyvana is coming up towards top, and she is going to be running out here with the burnout and trying to get that Q proc. Instead parries, and actually is just going to trade back with Shyvana. Not too much is going to happen right now. Shyvana actually also has Oracle right now, so she will be able to clear out wards. As we do see both Scion and Shyvana coming down to this to the mid lane right now, and she actually doesn't have vision of this right now. So will we see? Oh, actually, he is going to back up. Ari's actually going to back up instead, so not going to be in too much danger of that right now. We do see Sion returning back to top lane as well.
Yeah, earlier, Ashe did burn the Enchanted Crystal Arrow trying to catch Gangplank out of position. Did not work, whiffed that past.
But Ari middle actually diving onto this GP with the Ignite. And actually, GP tries to blow the flash there. Kill being picked up by Ari. Well done. She's going to be able to push this back, and Shyvana will come down here to hold the lane. Hitting a charm actually, and some more damage coming out. Taking a tower shot, not too bad. So looking at CS again really quickly right now. So we have Ari at 76 to GP's 54. So she is playing ahead again. She has the power to shove against and force GP to farm under tower. And again, with that blue, she can apply more pressure by throwing out orbs and foxfires and charms just all day long. And because he doesn't have a whole lot of sustain right now, because he did opt for a Sheen instead, it looks like a Triforce rush. He's not going to be able to sit in lane if he takes too many of those. Bottom lane we have Caitlyn at 89, Tash at 76, and we now see that Caitlyn actually starting to pull ahead. And top lane between Sion and Fiora are very close, both at just around the 70 mark, so both very close in terms of that.
And we've got Lord Lust here on Shyvana clearing out the rest of the wards here at bottom lane. Now Anthrax has absolutely no vision except that bush right there, which is kind of useless for them at this point unless if Lord Lust goes for a lane gank, but he knows there's no vision from this corner. So
we might be seeing a dive actually here. Lord Lust does have his dragon form now, as well as we do have the Sona ultimate. But they have to be careful again. The arrow and the Soraka heal with Wish can actually... He's very, very strong to defend under tower. Instead, no, he's just going to back out, and he is going to be giving Gangplank the blue right now. So we do see Fiora actually buying 2 Doran's Blades now against this Sion. And he went Ninja Tabby. Interesting.
And a Vamp Scepter.
Not too sure why he went Ninja Tabby against an AP Sion. Anyways, I mean, Sion still does quite a bit of damage with the Enrage, which it's actually quite a bit, 25 extra damage, even at just at one point, so he'll get a little bit out of that, but ultimately it's not going to do, like, the best thing. Merc Treads would have been a more optimal choice. So Ari actually buying Revolver, looking to get that water. We do see Maokai and the Ari bottom looking to have a lane gank here. There is a cupcake trap in the bush, so they don't have vision of this bush. So we're just I'm gonna switch the vision to the purple team. Actually, now they do see the Ari bottom, and they are actually backing off anyway towards the tower. And Maokai is also gonna leave, so they will see the Ari, as well as Maokai just leave this lane right now as well. So again, Ari with Revolver, most likely going to be going for the Woda. Usually, Woda is a very common item, stacks very well with Ari's passive, gives her huge amounts of sustain in lane, as well as in fights. We do Ashe still just staying on Berserker Greaves and Doran Blade. No one else has really bought any sort of items yet. Oh, actually, we have Sion buying Revolver. Interestingly, you don't see too many Revolver Sions, but it is going to give him sustain. This might actually be the answer he needs to actually dominate over this Fiora with that. I'm not too sure how well Revolver does on Sion though.
Looks like they are managing to trade blows continuously there in that top lane. You've got yeah, everyone's just kind of playing passively at this point in the game and looking at farm counts. 102 on Ashe to 119 on Caitlyn, though Ashe has the components right now for a Bloodthirster.
No, we see
Lord Lust
here
on
around
Ari
top.
taking blue buff for herself, and top lane. Yeah, top lane Lord Lust trying to exert some pressure here onto Fiora.
Might be seeing a lane gank there eventually when this lane pushes back out. She has no vision of that. So we will see how that comes as soon as this lane pushes out. Actually, Lesnar again diving onto this GP again. GP actually falling down. Sorry, we missed that. And now they're actually going to transition to Dragon for that. And now they actually know Shyvana's top. So this Dragon's actually very favorable. Is highly going to go to Anthrax actually.
Yeah, Nestea is not doing anything to retaliate. Both Caitlyn and Sona are backing up, so Dragon number 1 at the 14-minute mark going to Team Anthrax.
And here they go. They're actually going to be pinging this blue. They know the So they do throw the sapling on the blue. It's not quite there, and they know it. Looks like Ari just poking around, looking to steal the wolf as well. So gold advantage now, just about 2,500 up for Anthrax right now. So they're staying at an okay spot right now. Caitlyn actually completing Bloodthirster, going for that instead. Kate and Ashe aren't too different in terms of farm right now in gold. They're actually not too much different either. Actually, with that dragon, Ashe has actually pulled ahead. Actually, in terms of the amount of gold, and she actually skilled Hawk Shot to 5 first, and didn't go for volley. So she's actually rolling in a lot of extra gold. It's actually smart because she's not getting too much pressure in, and it allows her to get those items a bit quicker. So she's actually not faltering too much, despite getting that first or being first blooded earlier.
They are chasing after iJosh. Excellent arrow, but oh, the Sona ult whips, and they are still chasing iJosh. They're going to dive this. Soraka's nearby, and the
a
Gangplank
GP
ult.
ultimate.
But Caitlyn does manage to take that with an ace in the hole, and Gangplank picking up an assist.
So going over this again. So we do see just Ari again, just still ahead of this Gangplank right now. Gangplank still doesn't have any sort of, sustainment in lane right now. So actually Ari has quite a bit of free reign over this lane right now. It's going to be hard for Shyvana to actually stick to her when there's no real hard CC for this Ari, and she does have ultimate up. We actually have a lot of coverage bottom with wards as well. So just right now, it still just looks to be a farm fest. I haven't seen too much of this Shyvana doing this counter jungle. She still has an Oracle, so she is, sweeping wards, getting rid of vision. Looking at farm again, top. Again, it's just very, very even right now with Sion and Fiora, both at around 130 right now. Bottom, we do see the Caitlyn again, just a little bit ahead, but we might see this Ashe actually start to pick up a bit more. You see a lot middle with this Maokai as well. We do see Shyvana now invading into the other side of the jungle right now. They do have pings, they do see that right now. And she is going to quickly pick up this ward. Here comes Ari dashing on, missing the charm right now. There's the Foxfire. Not quite enough. Oh my goodness. I'm not too sure the use of flash there by Ari. She flashed like 2 centimeters just inside the pit. And instead, this Shyvana is actually just going to jump away with the dragon form. So she's going to get away and present that Oracle, but we do have Maokai in pursuit. Not going to be quite enough. He is top here. They don't know if they're going to go for this, as GP is also heading up through the jungle right now. Instead, the Ari and Maokai are just going to back off instead. So right now we do see actually Ashe is going for Shyvana now finishing Wriggles. Now we do see Ari finishing Woda as well, getting some wards, not too bad. Ari is doing pretty well right now against this GP. And then we do see, wow, I completely missed it, I derped, my bad. We do see the Fiora and Maokai diving onto Sion and taking him out as well. Looks like Fiora will be opting for Bloodthirster, it looks like, possibly. As well as what other items do we have? So we do have Maokai with his GP, or his 2 GP5 items, Heart of Gold, Philostone, is going to be giving him a lot more income. It'd be nice for him to, grab an Oracles as well and start trying to give some other pressure. But we do see Ari coming down bot lane as well, but here he comes. Is he going to be coming in? There's the slow from the net. There's the arrow. Missing the Caitlyn, actually. Caitlyn flashing out. There's the charm. And another dash and Foxfires onto Sona, and Sona is going to be taken out. This Ari is actually having quite a bit of presence in this game, very well done. And starting to just, put more pressure as this GP doesn't have, can't really move from middle, and he can't really hold it. There's a charm actually, and another orb being thrown out, doing some damage onto this Caitlyn now as they continuously try to poke, as we do have Maokai actually sneaking into this bush on the bottom. Instead, Caitlyn is just going to back up instead, and this is most likely going to just be a free tower instead. And now we do see top lane actually. Here comes Shyvana down onto this Fiora right now, tagging her with that twin bite right now. And they're going to dive this, trying to push her out with that dragon form, not quite. And she's just going to be sitting under this tower right now, trying to get as much damage. They are trading the tanks off. There's another parry, and that's going to be enough damage to take down Shyvana with Fiora, as Sion is just going to start to push on this tower. Meanwhile, we do have bottom. Anthrax is still pushing, taking that first tower right now. And this Sona and Caitlyn aren't going to be enough to stop on that. They get too close. Again, Ari now, not quite has ultimate yet, but we do have Ashe with arrow, I believe, soon. So might come onto that. GP joining them as well, trying to keep that push off. And now we do see the blue team pinging the dragon area. Probably have it timed. It was, what, 14 minutes? It was like 14:30, so it's about another 30, 40 seconds. Instead, they are going to take this blue buff and probably give it to Ahri. Looking at gold as well, they are pulling ahead about 3,500 up. And still close. It's not exactly, you know, anyone's game, but they do have now quite a bit of map pressure now because of the towers that are gone bot. However, Sion does get the top tower as well. If you're actually finishing Bloodthirster as well, other items we see Sion just has a blasting wand as well. Ahri looking to buy as well, has about 6.
Dragon is going to spawn any moment now, but the majority of Anthrax had backed up, Soraka backed up, and here we go, Alezra starting to ward. They're setting up for Dragon.
The Dragon has spawned
just
right
came
now.
up.
So they do have this on top. Looks like Fiora is probably going to come down here and assist as well. Other items we finally have Ashe now, has an Infinity Edge. Caitlyn with that Bloodthirster looking in to build that Phantom Dancer as well. GP also has a Giant Spell. He might be going actually for Warmogged instead. He just wanted the Sheen to somehow try to get more damage off in lane. We do see an arrow flying middle, and it is going to hit Shyvana square on as they dive in on her. The Ahri trying to dealing actually quite a bit of damage as well as taking out this GP as well. GP ult does not, you know, give them enough right now. They're going to take this middle tower as well. Caitlyn firing Piltover Peacemaker right now. Flash in by Maokai. There's a twist events and the knockout. Charm onto this. Soraka is going to, or Sona is going to seal her fate as well. However, Maokai actually goes down from the tower shots in this Caitlyn right now. So they do get 3 for 1 right now. They are just going to back out now. Gold lead pulling nearly almost 8,000 gold. Well, just 7,000 actually. Right now they are just going to look in this red side jungle, purple side, trying to pull out anything else they have. Do see Maokai actually pulling Glacial Shroud as well as Kindle Gem, so he'll probably go for that Shirelli's Reverie. It makes his initiation power a lot stronger, especially if we have an Ashe Arrow. It's a lot easier to, it's actually a lot stronger on this follow-up. Glacial Shroud will probably go to Frozen Heart as well. And do see actually if you are at 5 and 1, actually, it's actually getting pretty strong, level 14 right now.
Oh, it does pick up a Last Whisper, an excellent choice considering she already has that Bloodthirster. Last Whisper will be able to tear through armor with that armor pen and add it onto lifesteal and AD that Bloodthirster gives. Fiora is looking pretty strong.
Not too sure about Last Whisper when the only person with armor really is Shyvana. It'd help if there was more armor, but I mean it is still going to make him. He'll be able to tear through Shyvana a bit quicker, which is the only person with a really significant amount of armor. Looking over it again, some gold right now. I just want to compare this. The Ashe and Caitlyn are still pretty even right now, but the mid lanes are very wide apart. Actually, this Ahri actually has banked nearly 3,000 gold right now. So with another Amped Home, I foresee a Rylai's purchase very soon, and she I'm pretty sure she has enough money to just flat out buy the rest of the item. So right now we actually see Anthrax coming up on this red side jungle, as Nestea is also grouping up in here. Ashe still bottom actually, but she looks to initiate. She's going to shove bot instead. Actually touching that trap, so she's going to grab vision of herself. She's going to continue shoving this bottom lane instead. You know, putting more pressure in on that.
Yeah, there we go. Ahri did indeed purchase that Rylai's.
So Rylai's Crystal Scepter going to make her, you know, she can kite a lot better in escape. And Ahri can just poke until this point where she feels safe enough to go in and try and clean up all the rest of the kills using Spirit Rush. And that makes her very fearsome. So she does actually have quite a bit of damage right now. Foxfire actually does a lot of damage right now. With that blue, actually, it gives her that cooldown actually on the Foxfire is very low, 3.8 seconds. You can spam that. It does prioritize champions, and it's actually a lot of damage, as well as that orb gives a lot of true damage. And if they do get any catches, Charm is a very useful tool as well. You do see Fiora, Fiora's Bloodthirster is almost full there. Looking at the rest of the items, Shyvana might be going to this Wit's End with his Null Magic. We do have Soraka actually with Boots of Mobility as well running around. They are going to ward up this red side jungle as well. And Soraka with her Oracle, well, they are just going to clear out these wards. Shyvana actually, oh yeah, Shyvana has died, so no Oracle, but we do see Sona with it as well. GP's going for that Warmog as well, buying the Regrowth Pendant, so he is going to be more tank right now. This Sion doesn't have a huge boast amount of AP right now. He's probably looking for that Death Cap instead. And try to get that damage off. Caitlyn finishing that Phantom Dancer with a longsword, looking to go for that last whisper. There's an arrow, actually. That was very questionable, as it went right through the trees, not even in the lane right now. So very poor arrow, but you know, it's okay. Anthrax can just pull off and peel and just wait for the arrow to reset if they wish, and just, you know, continue to farm. Someone could farm the top lane as it's getting shoved very heavily right now. We'll probably see that soon. Soraka again just clearing out these wards right now. There's a charm being thrown out. Not going to hit and connect anyone. So right now we do see passive, and everyone's just, you know, trying to find a footing that they're comfortable with to start fighting.
Ahri continuously trying to catch somebody with that charm, not able to land any. Looks like they might be trying to position themselves to grab a Baron, but
they're probably
walking right past that ward. There we go.
So clearing the ward on Baron right now. They are just looking on footing. We do have Anthrax actually ahead in gold by 7,500. So pretty strong. More charms being thrown out. Ahri just poking away right now. They can do just pokes. There's a Q. They're just poking back and forth right now. They both have sustains in Soraka, as well as there's some damage onto this Fiora right now from the Scion shield. So right now they're just going to dance middle. So right now a lot of these fights, if they do engage on this 5v5 fight, the initiation from Anthrax is stronger, and at this point with these items they actually have a lot more damage over Nestea's team right now. Scion isn't exactly heavily itemized. He does have a lot of gold banked, but his AP is a bit low right now. They are just going to instead take Nestea's blue. Instead, here comes... Are they going to actually get this right now? No, we actually have Caitlyn actually stealing that, getting a crit on that. He is going to pull that blue away and keep it on his own team. So they don't quite get that. Around GP has enough to finish that, to complete that Warmog as well.
Oh, but here comes Nestea. They are catching both Fiora and Ahri out of position. Elezra does get out of there, but Fiora's in a lot of trouble.
Not enough damage coming down. Ace in this hole coming around. There's an arrow catching the Shyvana in the turret range as well. They are trying to dive in on this. Flash is coming down. And Twisted Advance onto this GP, and he's going to fall very quickly right now as well. Shyvana is very low. There's the Sonal finally coming out very late though. But this Nestea team is just getting pulled apart as they get counter-initiated underneath their turret right now. This Caitlyn's looking to just run away. Instead, no, they're just going to say, you know what? The Baron is free. Let's take this Baron. They're going to do this. This Baron is going to drop. Just this lone Caitlyn up here right now. See what he can do. They do throw the ward over the wall. You might see. Land that sapling in. They do see. Here's a flash by Ashe actually trying to come over. Volley connecting. Is that going to be enough to slow? No, she's going to step on this trap. It's not going to quite be enough. And Caitlyn poking back. But this Baron is going to be taken by Anthrax right now. Pushing that gold lead past 10k. About 11k gold right now. So right now, Nestea isn't in a comfortable position right now. And what Anthrax can do is just... Everyone has quite a chunk of gold in their pockets right now, is just buy up and start taking these towers for free and just starting to apply the pressure right now. Scion actually is teleporting top to help save this turret. Instead, it looks like we're going to have Anthrax. Instead, they are going to buy back, you know, take the buffs. The dragon has spawned as well. Just start purchasing items and starting to get. So we do have Ashe now, Phantom Dancer completed as well with another Zeal. Fiora actually has QSS now. And Ahri also picking up needlessly large rod. And Maokai has actually also finished his Frozen Heart and Reverie. So he's a very scary tank looking to initiate any sort of Ashe arrow or charm follow-up. Or follow-up from charm or the Ashe arrow. That's going to be very scary. GP now only just finishing his Warmog. Doesn't have too much stacks, only has plus 14 health, so it's not too big yet. We see Caitlyn as well actually going for that last Whisper. Just a bit of gold off of that. Scion also has sold a ring for that rod, so he's going to be going for the death cap as well. Give himself that boost of AP and try and do some more damage.
Dragon is up. Looks like Anthrax will be taking this one as well. There's no competition for that, and they're swinging straight for mid right now.
So right now they do just have, like, they have the map dominance right now, and all they can really do now is with Ahri with this blue is also very fresh. They can just push in on this, and then if Nestea, sorry, I keep trying to think of team. If Nestea decides to stay on this, they can initiate pretty hard with arrow, charm again, twisted advance. Right now they just have a dominant spot, and they can just push right now. We actually see Sion and Caitlyn coming in from the other side. The Ash Arrow connecting on Sion, the Twisted Dance. They're jumping right on this Sion, doing huge amounts of damage. Siobhan actually jumping in with his Dragon and is melting so quickly right now. Sona also very low. We see GP stuck in the middle of everyone. The Caitlyn is trying to just poke from the turret. There's a Twisted Advance up, and he's going to Arcane Smash and try and slow them. More damage coming out, and Ahri is going to pick up that kill. This Sona almost dead. There's the auto attack from Ahri, and there's the ace by Anthrax onto it. 17-4 now. They are looking very strong as they start to push in on the inhib.
That is a 15k plus gold advantage. Sion picking up that death cap. Caitlyn finally grabbing that last whisper. But this is very likely going to be GG.
And this will be the end of the game. They can take this. These turrets fall so fast, and now the Nexus is going to fall quick as well. So again, in another dominant fashion, we see Anthrax taking it over. After the small little bump at the start, you see Anthrax taking it over Nestea.
Victory!
So the final score, 17-4 in favor of Anthrax. You see Ahri going pretty big with 908, as well as if Fiora actually did very well as 913. Farming just very heavily top lane as well. We didn't see, you know, the lanes that Nestea put against these Anthrax lanes just didn't seem to be as strong as they probably would have liked right now. So there wasn't too much strength in these lanes right now. And so Ahri did very well to just shove the gangplank and then roam around the fight. And Fiora just kept herself in lane, got the items, and was able to actually shred quite a bit of damage later on. And the initiation was just too strong. They got out-leveled, they just pulled away the gold just constantly, and they just got behind because the items that eventually came out of Nestea just low damage, just not enough to peel off. And we saw huge damage out of Ahri and Fiora, and then Maokai again just sitting there with that ultimate also just tanking so much damage.
Right, I guess that means that is
So right now we are going to take another break, set up another game. We'll be right back.